Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Blue Water Running Podcast. I'm your host, Maren, and this podcast features and celebrates the achievements of high school and collegiate cross-country and track and field athletes from the Blue Water area of Michigan. In today's episode, Cameron Gramzow, an Anchor Bay High School junior, joins me to chat about his incredible improvement in the shot put and discus this season. Cameron set personal bests in both events this past week at the MAC Red Meet against Dakota High School. He threw 49.6 in the shot put and 163.1 in the discus, and he currently tops the Blue Water area performance list. He also set a new school record for Anchor Bay in the discus, breaking a 47-year-old mark previously held by Scott Gostovich at 156 feet 6 inches. And he met the early qualifying mark. Since it was a duel meet, he'll have to throw it again, which shouldn't be a problem. Cameron has been throwing a PR pretty much every meet since the start of the season. Last year, his bests were 40 feet 5.5 inches and 143 feet 9 inches, so he's throwing significantly farther than he did as a sophomore. Cameron also trains and competes for Club Kaizen Throws, and during the indoor season, he earned all-state honors by placing 7th in the discus with an indoor throw of 148 feet 7 inches. 32 feet farther than he had the previous indoor season. We will chat with Cameron about his training, his recent performances, the goals he has for this season, and get to know him as both an athlete and a person. Well, first of all, I'm excited to meet you because you have been tearing it up in the ring. It's pretty exciting to see what you're doing. So tell me some of your thoughts on this season so far.
I think it's going a lot better than what I kind of expected to throw somewhere close to 160.
Okay.
But I didn't expect to hit it so early in the season.
Yeah, because your best last year was significantly less than that. So that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it was 149 or 148 something.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I had, when I wrote my intro to the podcast, I put that you threw 148.7 indoors. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So already since your indoor season, you've, had over a 10-foot jump. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell us how you first got involved in track and field. So obviously you're a thrower. So how did you first get into the sport and get introduced to discus and shot and all that?
So my mom and my dad were my mom and my dad were sprinters or long distance runners in high school, and then my mom and my dad both did disc. So then I just kind of wanted to do just track to just do it as a sport, I guess.
Yeah.
And then my friend did shot put in middle school, so I kind of just hung out around him for most of the time. So that's kind of where the throwing came from.
Okay.
And then in middle school, I also did the 800 and the 4x4. And then when it came to high school, I started doing just disc because my dad and my mom did disc.
Okay.
And I thought I would have been good at it because I'm tall and I have long arms.
Yes.
Yes. And then my freshman year I did disc and then I did the 400. And then I wasn't too good at disc my freshman year. I threw 63 feet.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So from my freshman year to the school record throw, it was 99 feet 11 inches.
Oh my gosh.
So almost 100 feet exactly in 2 years.
That's crazy to put that in perspective. 100 feet. I mean, some people don't even throw 100 feet total.
Yeah.
So, well, I have to ask you this as a runner myself. Do you ever want to go back and do running events, or are you nope?
Yeah, not really, no.
Okay. Well, I have to ask this too. How tall are you?
6'3".
Okay. I was trying to guess from your picture. I was showing my husband, who is also 6'3", and I'm like, gosh, he looks like he's about as tall as you. And I did say that. I'm like, look how long his arms are, because that makes a really good discus thrower. So, yeah. Were you that tall as a freshman?
As a freshman, uh, I think I was 6 foot as a freshman, 6'1", I think.
Okay. So a little bit of a growth spurt between then and now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so like I said, I'm a runner. A lot of the athletes that listen to the podcast are not throwers. So I always like to get a good representation of all events because track and field is so diverse. So if somebody's listening that's never done shot or disc, tell us what you know about some of the things that are related to this event. So, for example, what does a typical practice look like for you? It's going to be very different than somebody working on, hurdles or long jump or a running event. How do you train? Are there specific things you do that a runner might not? And then kind of walk us through like just a typical day for you getting ready for your event.
So, all right. So what I do, I'll usually take or I'll take like a light jog around the track, and then I'll usually just like stretch on the ground or something, and just like work on stretching my like legs and my back and my arms. And then I'll use a foam roller and stretch out my quads, my my quad, my calf, and my back. And then I'll just use a band to stretch out my legs and my arms. Just pretty much just trying to get as loose as you can.
Right.
And then I'll usually do like a little bit of like form work and just going slow and trying to hit like every small like position in the throw. And just like going slow and just not trying to like try hard on like every single throw.
Mm-hmm.
And just work on form because it's like practice and it doesn't really like you don't have to like throw far in practice
Right.
because you're just working on form.
Well, do you weight train at all, or do you do anything specific outside of the track indoors to get ready for your event?
Yeah, I work out with Kaizen Throws, and we just do like Olympic lifts there, and ab workouts, and then we also train like throwing there too,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also work out at a home. And I just follow the same program at a home that I do at the with the Kaizen Throws.
Yeah, that was a question I had for you. So I interviewed last year Janae Hudson. She threw for
All right.
Kaizen Throws. Yeah, she was a state champion for Marysville, and now she's doing really well at Saginaw Valley State
Yeah.
University. So how did you first find out about Kaizen, and just tell me a little bit about that club because I know that they are very successful with their throwers.
Yeah. So my friend, the same friend from middle school,
Okay.
his 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 brother did Kaizen Throws, and um he was like super good. Like I mean, he threw like 120, which was like which during my freshman year was like crazy. And I like couldn't get the like disc to like fly like flat at all. So pretty much like the first reason why I joined Kaizen Throws was because I couldn't throw the disc flat.
Okay.
And then it just kind of like evolved from there.
Well, it's clearly been working.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific place that you meet, or does it kind of change based on their athletes?
Um or like with the Kaizen Throws group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so during the summer we usually meet at Lance Cruz North, I think it is.
Okay.
And we just throw by the tennis courts and just throw like into a field.
Hmm.
And so like all of us get in a line and then just like throw straight into the field. And then he watches all of our throws and then just tells us to like fix certain stuff.
Yeah.
And then during the winter, we throw at his house. So in his garage, he has like a net in his garage, and then we just
Oh,
throw into that. Yeah, it's kind of
okay.
cool. And
Well,
then we also work out at his house during the winter too.
okay. I was going to say it's really nice that you have access to a throws specific coach because I know at a lot of high schools, track coaches do their best to cover all those events, but sometimes they just aren't specialists in those areas. I wouldn't know how to coach a discus thrower or a shot putter. I'd have no problem coaching an 800-meter runner, but it's great that you have that place to get that extra help. So I have to ask too, I know runners wear spikes. I'm assuming you have specific shoes for throwing.
Yeah, so our shoes they're made to be super light, and then the bottoms are just like are like a smooth rubber.
Okay.
So basically it just creates like no friction at all. Well, like a little bit, but you could just spin like so much easier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you wear gloves ever, or is that not allowed?
Um, I'm not too sure if you can wear gloves in a meet. I don't think so. But during the winter, when I throw outside, I'll usually wear gloves.
Yeah, I always wondered about if it was so cold that your hands were freezing and you were having a hard time holding on, if
Yeah.
they would let you keep them on. But do throwers use chalk at all, kind of like pole vaulters do, to get grip?
Yeah, I personally don't, but I know a lot of people who do.
Okay. Well, like me, not being a thrower, sometimes we kind of stereotype throwing into it's all throwing, but shot put and discus are very different from each other. So, what do you think are the main differences between throwing the shot put and throwing the discus?
So, well, the shot put weighs like 12 pounds, and it's a lot smaller. And then a disc is just like a disc, and it weighs like 3.5 pounds, close to 3.5 pounds. So it's the same concept of a throw. It's just one is on a different point of your body. So a shot is like in your neck. So everything is a lot closer together in the throw. And then a disc is a lot longer. So your whole body is trying to be as long as you possibly can in the throw.
Hmm. Do you feel like discus is more your legs than your arms versus the shot put?
Um, both events have a lot to do with legs, but I think shot uses a lot more legs because it's a lot of weight to like hold down. So like you have to be more low to the ground to really like explode off the ground.
Okay. That's interesting. I would have guessed the opposite, but what do I know? Well, when you're getting ready to meet to throw, you mentioned you do some different warm-up techniques. At practice, do you do those same things for a competition, or is there anything you would do a little differently if you're going to, try for a win at a meet?
In a meet, do I'll usually do all that like probably like an hour out from my throwing, and then close to like 20 minutes before I actually throw, I'll usually do it all over again, and then just like try to like stretch a little bit more, and then during practice, I'll usually just like stretch.
Okay. Have you seen anybody with an injury before that's pretty common? Like what would you consider is an injury that a lot of throwers have to deal with or prevent?
Um, Not too sure. Like probably shoulder injuries
Okay.
with especially with throwing shot because if you throw the shot wrong, it could really hurt your shoulder.
Hmm.
Or
So,
like not like th- throwing it right and throwing it like a baseball.
yeah,
It, that hurts a lot.
I would imagine that technique is pretty important when it comes to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is your food or snack of choice before or after you compete?
So before I don't eat as much because I just don't want my stomach to like hurt while like throwing.
Hmm.
And then I'll usually have like maybe like half a sandwich, and then I'll just have like some like light like fruit bars and like a banana, and then just a bunch of water.
All right. Do you like any specific thing that would be considered like a treat? Like if you're done throwing and you're on your way home and you want to stop and get food, what would you pick?
Oh, I mean, usually after like I'm done throwing, I'll get like pizza or something,
Okay.
or yeah, probably pizza.
What do you like on your pizza?
Uh, I like just plain pepperoni,
Okay.
but if they had it at the meats, I would probably choose like barbecue chicken.
Ooh, yeah, that's my kids' favorite. They love barbecue chicken, and my husband's as well. So, yeah, good choice. Good choice. Now, are you a barbecue chicken with onions or without onions?
Either one is fine because you don't really taste the onion.
All right. Well, some people are very opinionated on the onion issue. So I had to ask. All right. Well, what is another throwing event that maybe you've seen collegiately or in world competition? For example, hammer, javelin. Have you ever thought of any of those and wanted to try them?
I think I would like to like try both, but I feel like I feel like hammer would be fun because I have like long arms, so I feel like I would be good at that,
Hmm.
and like it just looks fun to like throw it really far.
It does. It looks a little scary too. I'm not gonna lie. When I
Yeah,
see that thing flying, I'm like, ooh, watch out.
yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah. So we already know that you've broken a school record. You've thrown way farther than in the past. You've made some pretty huge improvements. So do you have any other big goals for this season that you're hoping to achieve before the end of the outdoor season ends?
Um, I would like to break the shot put record at a school, which I think that's like 54 6 or something.
Okay, so you're like 5 feet away or so?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the state meet? Are you hoping to look towards that and do anything specific?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I can make it in both events.
Hmm.
And shot, I'm hopefully I'll come close to getting the early qualifier for shot
Yeah,
put. But if not, I just have to throw like 49 something at regionals.
right.
So it'll come pretty close, but hopefully I'll be able to do it.
Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the EQ list for D1, 53.2 for shot
Yeah.
and 156 for disc. So you've met that, right?
Not
Or
not
not yet?
not yet, no.
Oh, because did you not throw it at an EQ meet?
No, yeah, no.
Oh, that's why. I was going to say you've
Yeah.
thrown front. Oh, so see, you could totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem for you, I feel like. All right. So, one last question besides the throwing stuff. We'd like to know you as a person. So, what are your hobbies and interests outside of track? So, what do you like to do when you're not working on your throwing? You're not doing your schoolwork. What are the things you're interested in?
Pretty much just eating and working out. That's pretty much it.
Spoken like a true teenage boy. Yes, that's funny. Well, if you didn't do the throwing events and you had to pick another field event or a running event, and your coach said, "Hey, I'm going to put you in this," what would be your first choice if you had to choose?
Um, Maybe the 400 because I have like some experience with that.
Okay.
Either that or the 4x1 sounds fun.
Yeah. I feel like you'd be pretty fast.
Uh, I'm like a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're tall and strong, and that makes a good sprinter usually. So, hey,
Yeah.
you never know. You could always give it a try. Um, would you like to throw after high school? Is that something that you've been thinking about? I know you're not a senior yet, but have you thought beyond like, hey, I'd like to keep doing this in the future?
Yeah. I really want to throw in college.
Okay, so
I'm
something
not
that,
too sure like which events I want to focus on, but I know I really want to like throw in college.
yeah, well, something to keep on your radar, right? The time is coming up fast and it goes quickly, so definitely to keep thinking about. Now, do you have a favorite collegiate or professional thrower? Do you follow any throwers that are, in the elite levels?
Yeah, I mean, the best are like Ryan Krauser and
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Alekna,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like watch their like throws like a lot, and like it's just like amazing how like it just looks like that, and it goes super far.
Yeah. Ryan Krauser is fun on social media to follow. Like he puts
Yeah,
YouTube videos of stuff he does, and he just seems to have a really good sense of humor. I think he's quite funny.
yeah.
Somebody I really like watching too is Valerie Allman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she was the gold medalist for women. She's incredible too. Well, Cameron, thank you so much for hopping on today and joining me on the podcast. It's always great to talk with field event athletes who are doing really amazing things. And I don't think you're done yet. Looks like you got lots more to go and
Yeah, I got
bigger
about like
throws to come. So super exciting to see what's going to happen.
thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I love talking to athletes and I wish you all the best.
Yeah,
Yeah, so be watching you, see how things go for the rest of the season. Best of luck to you.
thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Blue Water Running Podcast. Please share an episode to help spread the word about our mission, which is to feature and celebrate achievements of high school and collegiate cross-country and track and field athletes from around the Blue Water area of Michigan. You can follow Blue Water Running on Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, along with our athlete and meet reports and photos on the website at bluewaterrunning.org. Coverage of Blue Water Running is sponsored in part by Elite Feet of Port Huron. If you need running shoes, spikes, or apparel, they have a friendly and knowledgeable staff to help you find just what you need, and they've spent years supporting local athletes in the Blue Water area. They are located at 327 Huron Ave in downtown Port Huron. Verlindy Insurance, located in Richmond, Michigan, is also a supporter of coverage on Blue Water Running. Training as an athlete teaches you resilience and preparation. Apply those lessons to your life with their insurance plans. Be ready for anything with them by your side. You can visit verlindyinsurance.com for more information or email Noah at verlindeinsurance.com for more information.